Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Badass Podcast. I want to talk about memories and time and how quick we are to forget the little things that really matter. So last night, me and my husband and my daughter were watching this movie, and I'm sure you've heard of it. And I meant to watch it a long time ago, and I don't know why we never did. And so it was on Dish last night, and so I was like, all right, let's watch this movie. And it's called Inside Out. And so what it is, if you've never seen it, is it's a little girl named Riley who grows up, but inside her head she has these emotions, joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. And so it's so funny. My husband was giving me crap because he's like, Sasha, you're joy. And he's just laughing. And he's like, yep, you're the joy, which I found kind of funny because I'm not always joy, but it's nice to see that other people think that I am. Anyways, and so these emotions are kind of what controls Riley. And every day they store her experiences in a memory bank. And so she always, Joy is always like, I need to be in control and I want all the memories to be joyful, and then we can store them. And then all of her core memories are joy too. And so Riley's parents moved to San Francisco. And this is when Joy starts to not be so in control, I guess you could say. Sadness starts touching more of the memories, including the core memories. And before you know it, joy and sadness are lost in long-term memory. And I don't want to ruin this movie for you. I think everybody should see it because the whole time, it's a kid's movie, but I'm a big thinker. So I'm always like, oh my gosh, this is so real life. And I don't know, I always take everything to the next level. And it was actually a pretty funny movie. I was laughing so hard at anger and this Bobo Boo Boo, I don't even remember his name, clown, elephant, dolphin thing that they had on there. Oh my God, you guys, I was laughing so fucking hard. And then I was crying too. I was just all over the place. I experienced every emotion in the matter of the 2 hours that this show was on TV. But it made me think, because I'm sitting there, and then Oaklyn falls asleep, and so I'm rocking her, and I'm like, okay, let's pause this movie. I'm going to go put this baby to bed. And so I come back down, and I'm like, I said to my husband, do you still want to watch this movie? And he's like, yeah, I really like it. I'm like, okay, good, because I really want to keep watching it. And, the sadness and joy are running around long-term memory, trying to find their way back to headquarters so that they can help Riley feel joy again. And there was these janitors in long-term memory, and they're sucking up the faded memories and throwing them down this hole where they're lost forever. And I just couldn't help it because, they start showing all these memories of mom and dad, and they're eating breakfast and she's little, or the first time they played hockey, or the first time she made a friend, or just all of these firsts and all of these things that you do on a daily basis that may not seem such big things, like the tickle fights or the making breakfast or the holding hands on your way to school, or just things like this. And these memories are starting to fade. And so when they fade, they get thrown into the subconscious, or they get thrown away forever. I don't remember what they called it, the black hole or something. I can't remember. But it just made me really sad and made me realize that there is so much that we take for granted, and we just don't realize how quick time goes and how much time we spend focusing on shit that doesn't matter. Just stupid things that don't matter. How myself in particular, I'll just give you my examples. How I waste so much time and energy on what I used to anyways, on what I thought other people thought about what I was doing. If that doesn't sound exhausting, then I don't know. But I spent too much time and energy focusing on being angry, being hateful, being resentful, being jealous, or like worrying about what Susie Q was doing across the street and wondering about what she thought about what I was doing. Instead of really focusing on the things that matter, like my health, my happiness, my daughter, my husband, my pets, my family, just all of these things, right? And so what I want to say to you is, what in your life is draining that time from you, draining that energy from you so that you're not focusing on the things that really matter? I want you to put your memories in long-term memory, and I want them to stay there. I don't want your memories to fade, especially the important ones. Like if you start to think back, every day that you live, you forget a little bit more unless you're doing something proactive to help you retain your memory so that you're focusing your energy more on life and joy rather than busy, or energy leaks here, energy vampires there. So what I've taken up this year, actually I started it last year. Nope, I lied. Wait. Yes, it was last year. For a second, I forgot where I was and who I was. Funny that we're talking about memory. Oh my God, you guys. So last year, before my daughter was born, I started journaling. And it was mostly just about like pregnancy. And actually the reason I started journaling is because I felt really alone and I felt like I had nobody to share my experiences with, because if any of you are moms or have close family members or friends who have been moms, for some reason, our society is super judgmental on what you do as a expecting mother. So there's a lot of opinions out there. And for some reason, everybody thinks that you need to do things their way or you're a shitty person. And so I was surrounded by a lot of that, believe it or not. Not everybody. There was a few people in my life that were very, just like, okay, do what works for you. And that's kind of how I roll. I'm like, all right, sweet. Do what works for you. And that's awesome. But I had a lot of other people who were like, what? You're going to do that? Oh, you're so stupid. Da 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 da. So I got to the point where I was like, I'm not even going to share anything with anybody. I'm closing up shop. But I still needed an outlet on how I could remember these things and how I could work through what I was feeling. So I started journaling through my pregnancy about, how I felt being pregnant and then up until I had her. And then I always hear people, they talk about their birth stories and then like the first 48 hours after your child is born, you forget a lot of that stuff. And so I'm like, I don't want to be that person that forgets everything. So I want to write it down. I want to write it all down. I want to write everything down so that I don't forget it. I'm one of those people that I have to put pen to paper and it just kind of solidifies it in my memory. I'm not sure why. It's probably because all of the years I spent killing brain cells, but I can't really just store things in memory. One of the things that I remember the most is how to get somewhere. I'm really, really, really good with directions. I don't know why. That's just something that I've always been good at. You could probably drop me anywhere in the world and I would find my way home just because I have great navigational skills and I would probably remember how you put me there in the first place. So I just take the same way back. But as far as things that happen in my life or important events or, there's some important events I remember, but I blocked a lot of it out and I didn't spend a lot of time focusing on how to remember it. My sister, on the other hand, she remembers freaking everything. I think she remembers more of my life than I do. And so I was sick of not remembering anything. So I just started writing everything down. Nothing crazy. I'd spend 5 or 10 minutes a day just writing down what happened throughout my life and what happened when my daughter was born and how I felt and having my husband hold her for the first time or our parents hold her for the first time or when we said our vows or when we brought Oaklyn home or, all of these things, all of the firsts. or just my life in general, you guys. Like, I am so big in journaling now. I probably have 4 journals going at any given time. I think I do, actually. I have one for like my work and my client stuff. I have one for like I have a lot of old money stories, so that's why I talk about money a lot, is because I was one of those people that was always like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, there's never enough money, I'm always broke, I always live paycheck to paycheck. Like, those are just stories that always played on repeat in my head. So I have a journal designated just for money. And then I have my personal journal where I do like my recap of my day, my gratitude journaling. I do affirmations, things like that in there, my brain dumps, things like that. And then I have a journal for Oaklyn and family stuff. And so every week, I should say, I write in Oaklyn's journal about the things that she's learned, the things that she's doing, experiences she's had, and things like that. And I hope that one day, or I hope I'm going to try and keep this up as long as I possibly can. And I hope that, when she graduates from high school, I can say, hey, read this book that I've been writing over the last 18 years. And hopefully she will find as much value in it as I did when I was writing it, and I just want her to know that I'm over here doing the best I can to make sure that she has the best life possible. But I'm so forgetful, and I don't want to be that forgetful person. So I've implemented this habit in my life where I'm documenting everything. And it just makes me so sad that there's still so many people out there that are just letting all these memories fade. They're all just fading away, lost forever. And time is just flying by, you guys. It is going so fast. And I never understood it. And I think we're all in the same boat here. None of us understood it when we were younger. None of us. We were like, oh my God, time, it just is dragging on, and we couldn't wait till Friday and blah, 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 blah. And now it's like, holy crap, this time is just flying by, and I cannot do anything to slow it down. All I can do is slow down my life so that I can focus more on gratitude and joy, and focusing on the things that really, really matter in life, not so much about what other people think matter, or what other people think about what I'm doing, or holding grudges, or being jealous. There's just no time for that shit anymore. I have 0 time for all of that negative bullshit. I just have no time for it anymore. I have spent far too much time focusing on dumb shit that doesn't matter, that I'm not going to waste any more time. Every day I'm working on myself, and I'm putting away, I'm locking these memories in the bank because I don't want them to fade to dust. Oh, you guys, in this movie, you have to watch this movie. Like, my heart was breaking. I see these and they sound like little glass balls. Like, if you were looking at a snow globe, that's what they look like little bubble glass balls, and all of a sudden they would turn gray, and then they'd fade to dust. And I was just like, oh, that memory is lost forever. Oh, it just breaks my freaking heart. So I'm doing everything that I can to try and remember these moments so that when she gets older, they might trigger a memory in her too, and just be like, my mom paid attention to the things that mattered, and not so much this stupid material BS that we're surrounded by. So that's all I have for you today, guys. I just want you to slow down, think about time, and think about how much time we have and how much time we waste, and what memories we have versus what memories we have forgotten, and just to enjoy the little things. Enjoy the little things. I think we just take life too seriously sometimes, and we're too focused on reaching all of these goals that we forget to have fun on the journey, right? All right, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Go buy a journal. Go buy a 47-cent notebook from your nearest department store. Set a timer for 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day, and start writing about your life. Write your own book. Start today. You won't regret it. All right. Go out there, be a badass. Talk to you guys later.